need to stop screen.
Start.
Is it?
Start. I'm going to go introduce about you.
Okay. Okay. I want to ask regarding the question if there is any question or I can do interactive with the audience or cannot do the interactive.
Yes. You can do it
Yes.
end of the session. End of the session. If they have got doubt, you can answer to them. And another thing is, madam, please see to that you go very slowly because it is
Oh,
difficult for
okay.
our students. Our pronunciation will be different from one
Oh
country
yeah.
to another country. That's the reason I
Okay,
request.
sure. Okay.
And I'll start. The
Okay,
next,
okay.
the next distinguished to honor us with her presence, Dr. Intan Hassan, ma'am, nationality Malaysia, current position senior lecturer, University of Malaysia, field of specialization, community nursing, nursing education, and nursing gerontology, women health. Today, Madam is going to explain to us regarding formulation of hypothesis. I invite to Ma'am on StreamYard. You can go ahead with your proceedings, Madam.
Okay, thank you, Madam Moderator. Okay, good morning to all the audience, students, and all the attendants for this conference. Okay, first of all, I would like to ask, can you see my PowerPoint or not yet?
Not yet.
Not
Not
yet.
yet.
Okay, okay, I will share my PowerPoint. Can you see now?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay, my title. Okay, my voice, is it clear? My voice? Madam, my voice, is it clear to all of you? You can hear me? Okay. Can all of you hear me? Hear my voice? Okay. Can I get the response from the audience or from the organizer? Okay. Can
Proceed the
you hear
session.
my voice?
Yes, we
Okay,
can
okay.
hear it. You can.
Because I'm afraid I'm alone here because I cannot see you, madam.
Yes,
Okay.
madam.
Okay.
You can proceed, madam.
Yeah, if anything, if my boss cannot hear, please contact me via
Yes,
WhatsApp.
madam. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I will proceed. Okay, with my presentation. Okay, the title is Hypothesis Formulation, the Scientific Method. Okay, I'm Dr. Intan from University Science Malaysia, Malaysia. Okay. Okay, here I just only focus on the research hypothesis. So what is the research hypothesis? Okay, it is based on John Rand 2023. A research hypothesis is an educated expected prediction of the outcome of study that is testable. Okay, I will explain to you later. Okay, and according to Creswell, okay, 1994, hypothesis is a formal statement that presents the expected relationship. So we can say the simple word is hypothesis. Research hypothesis means what we expected in our research. Okay, the relationship between independent and dependent variable. Okay, if any question, you can ask me at the end of my presentation. Okay, how we want to develop a good or effective hypothesis. Okay, this is the first step. Okay, steps in developing hypothesis. Okay, first we all have initial idea. When we want to do a research, we first come up with an ideas. Okay. Then we search the literature review. Okay, we do a reading, we read about what is the theory behind that. We want to prove the belief. Okay, previous research and also experience, based on our experience what we want to study, okay, in the research. So we go to the next step. Okay, after we have an idea, then we state a problem. What the problem that we want to do a study? Okay, what the survey? What is the point? What is the issue? Okay, then we formulate the RQ, means research question. Okay, then we formulate the research question. Okay, after that, then we develop the hypothesis. Okay, firstly we will draft the hypothesis. Then we refine the final draft. Okay, so this is the step. Then we need to know there are two types of hypothesis. Okay, type of hypothesis. One is null hypothesis and one is alternative hypothesis. Okay, the type of hypothesis. Null hypothesis mean represent a theory that has been put forward. Okay, because the first step is we do a literature review, then we come out from the theory, we come out the idea. So the hypothesis is based on the theory that we have read. And usually what means by the nulls mean no. Okay, no. Claim that there is no effect, no difference, no anything related to no, N-O, no, okay, on the population. Okay. Alternative hypothesis. The second is alternative hypothesis mean the opposite of null hypothesis mean yes. Okay, there is an effect, there is a difference. Okay, only reach if hypothesis null is rejected. HO mean hypothesis null. Okay, usually desired conclusion of the researcher. Usually the researcher want to look at the alternative hypotension instead of a null hypothesis. Okay, so example null hypothesis, new drug is no better on the average than the current drug. Okay, means not better, no better, no difference. So the alternative hypothesis means the sentence, the writing sentence is new drug has a different effect on average compared to that of the current drug. Means you can see the difference. Alternative hypothesis mean yes, it has a difference, but null hypothesis mean no, there is no difference between these two variables. Okay, so what is the similarities and differences of hypothesis null? HO mean hypothesis null, HA mean hypothesis alternative. Okay, the difference. Okay, null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Okay, in term of effect. Okay, in term of effect, null hypothesis, there is no effect. Anything related to no, N-O, no. Okay, for alternative hypothesis, there is an effect. Okay, there is a big difference between these two types. According to the symbols, okay, for null hypothesis, the symbol is H0. Okay, and for alternative, the symbol is HA. A means alternative. And the phrases usually we use for null hypothesis is no effect, no differences, no relationship, no changes, does not increase, does not decrease. That related to no. Okay, but for alternative hypothesis, it can write in term of there is an effect. Okay, there is a difference, there is a relationship between these two variable, there is a change, there is an increase, there is a decrease. Okay, and the similarities between hypothesis null and hypothesis alternative. Okay, what is the similar between these two types? Okay, regarding the research question, both type have need to answer research question of the study of the research. Okay, both HO and HA is regarding towards the population. Okay, both claim toward target population. Okay, I will explain more after this. And both hypotheses need to be tested statistically. Okay, okay. Hypothesis and research method. What is the related between hypothesis and all the research method? Why is it important? Okay, hypothesis and research method. Research question. Okay, okay. Here you can see what is the related between hypothesis and research question. Okay, hypothesis will answer the research question. Okay, and also hypothesis will infer the population because the goal of hypothesis is to make inference about population. Okay, I will give the example after this. Okay, and hypothesis, what is the relation with the statistical test? Okay, hypothesis will decide whether evidence reject or accept the hypothesis. The statistical test will decide whether evidence, okay, the finding of the study reject or accept the hypothesis. Okay, these are the important why we need to develop, formulate a good hypothesis. Okay, example. Okay, what I stress here. Why hypothesis answer the research question? Because we need to develop the formulate the research question first, then followed by the hypothesis. Okay, example. Research question of my study. Example, I have a research question. Okay, my research question is, does the independent variable affect the dependent variable? Okay, the general term. Okay, so the hypothesis null we answer no. Okay, remember the null means no. Okay, there is no effect in the population. Okay, for the hypothesis alternative, it will answer yes. Okay, yes, there is an effect in the population. Okay, so we come to how to write research hypothesis scientifically. Okay, it's easier. Okay, for the newbie or for the starter, you can follow the template that I get from the reference also. Okay, the template, we have two general template. Okay, first general template sentence. Second is test specific template sentence. I can say that the second one is for advanced. Okay, the first one, general template, is just for those who want to start writing a research. So you learn based on this template. Okay, I will show you how you write a research hypothesis based on the template. You just fill in the template. Okay, this is the first one. Okay, general template sentences. How you want to write your hypothesis. Okay, first, okay, you need to identify which one is dependent variable, which one is independent variable in your study. Okay, then you go to research question. Okay, research question. Does independent variable affect dependent variable? Then you write your research question. You remember the step that I told you previously? You need to get previous research. You need to get the research question. Okay, example. Example, my research question in the study. Example, the research question in my study. Does daily meditation decrease the incidence of depression? Okay. Does daily meditation decrease the incidence of depression? This is my research study. Okay, and my research question. Research question, it has a question mark here. Okay, so I want to do my study. I want to look. My meditation daily given to the patient is it will decrease the incidence of depression to the patient. Okay, so I want to formulate my hypothesis null. HO means hypothesis null. Okay, so hypothesis null, we remember the formula. Independent variable does not affect dependent variable, or it can be the interchangeable. But the important point is does not affect. So how we formulate the hypothesis for my study? Okay, for my study, the hypothesis now for my study, daily meditation does not decrease the incidence of depression. This is how I write in terms of general template sentence, general hypothesis. Okay, then I want to write the hypothesis alternative. Okay, the format for alternative hypothesis alternative is it has an effect. Okay, so I write it. Daily meditation decrease the incidence of depression. So you can see which one is independent variable and dependent variable. We can see we have two variable here, meditation and depression. So depression is independent variable, depression is dependent, meditation is independent. Okay, so you need to have the variable. When you formulate the hypothesis, you need to detect or to identify what is the variable, and you formulate based on hypothesis null and hypothesis alternative. This is the general template sentence. Okay, you just fill up, and we call it general hypothesis template because it's a simple writing hypothesis. When we come to advanced, how you want to write in the test specific template sentence. Okay, this is quite advanced for those who have identified which are the analysis they want to use in the hypothesis. You can use this method, this type of writing. Okay, this is the template, so you can just fill up. Okay, but when you want to write in term of hypothesis test specific template, means your hypothesis is specific to the analyze of the data. Okay, first you need to identify which statistical test for the hypothesis. Okay, then you come to next step, the research question. Does independent variable affect dependent variable? Okay, we use the same research question in the general template. Okay, this is my study. Does daily meditation decrease the incidence of depression? Okay, so the answer is we want to write the hypothesis now. But our hypothesis now is specific. Okay, you see the title. Now I want to formulate, or I want to write the hypothesis that is test specifically according to the statistical test. Okay, example. Okay, the proportion of people with depression in daily meditation group is greater than or equal to the no meditation group in the populations. You can see we use proportion, okay, because we already know that this will use which one, okay, which analysis, okay, and the hypothesis alternative, okay, make sure, okay, it's different from, it opposite the hypothesis now. So the sentence is the proportion of people with depression in daily meditation group is less than the nomination group. Okay, you can see the difference. Okay, once again I repeat. Okay, this is a general statement. When the general statement, you note according to the which statistical test you want to use, which analysis you want to use. You just write it in general. Okay, no proportion here. You no need to insert. Is it a proportion? Is it a mean difference? You just write in a general term. It acceptable. Okay. Example, daily meditation does not decrease the incidence of depression. It's simple and it's general. But if you already already you identify which analysis is suitable for this hypothesis, you can write based on statistical specifically. Example, you can see here, number 3, daily meditation does not decrease. It is a general template sentence. But when you see here, test specific template sentence, you see number 3 here, okay, you use the proportion because you already know what is the test that's suitable for this study. Okay, then we go. These are the template that I also take from the reference. So you can see here. Okay, you can see here. You see, if you this is your null hypothesis. Okay, your null hypothesis that you use. This is test specific template. Okay, so you use your wording is according to analysis, according to statistical test. Example, you already knew, okay, you already identified that your hypothesis will use two sample t-tests. Sample t-test, okay, t-test means you want to compare the mean difference. So you include in your hypothesis now the mean and differ. Okay, mean and differ. Okay, means that, okay, mean and differ, because you know already, you identify for this hypothesis you need to use two sample t-tests. So you include in your hypothesis the mean dependent variable does not differ between group 1 and group 2. Okay, if for alternative, okay, you just change it to differ. There is a difference. Okay. Same goes to one way ANOVA, okay, and patient correlation, because in patient correlation we want to see the correlation. So you include in your hypothesis there is no correlation between what? Meditation and depression. Okay, two variable. Okay, and for alternative there is a correlation between meditation and stress and depression. Okay, so you use this template, just fill in the template. This is the easiest method. So you have two type of writing the hypothesis. You can choose either or. Okay, these are the example of a research question. Okay, example, my research study and my research question, I want to see, does tooth flossing affect the number of cavities? Okay, if someone do a flossing to the teeth, it will affect after 3 months maybe the number of cavity to that people. Okay, so my hypothesis, if I want to choose the simple wording, I choose the general. Okay, general hypothesis. I want to write in general hypothesis. It's simple write up. So I write, tooth flossing has no effect on the number of cavities. But if I have identified that this research question will use t-test analysis, so I include the term in the t-test in this hypothesis. So my wording or my writing will be, the mean number of cavities per person does not differ between the flossing group and the non-flossing group in the population. Okay. So here the different, we include the analysis statistic here. T-test means we want to compare the mean difference. So we include the hypothesis already, means that we know we will test it. And the reader or the examiner will will um, will understand that this student have already understood that you will use this test. Okay, t-test, and these are the wording for t-test. These are the template. You just fill in the form, fill in the blank. Okay, okay. For the alternative hypothesis with the same research question, okay, the general hypothesis here, you can write tooth flossing has an effect on the number of cavity. And the test-specific hypothesis, you will write the mean number of cavities per person differs, means it has a difference between the flossing group and the non-flossing group. But if you want to maintain for your proposal because you are the beginner, you can just keep writing with the general hypothesis. Later, when you have identified this is your analysis, that the test that you want to analyze the research question, you can use this term, this write up, test specific hypothesis, or else it's okay to keep until you finish the research. Okay, so the conclusion, okay, just a simple from me. The conclusion, okay, hypothesis is a statement of prediction about the outcome of the study. Okay, we want to predict, we want to expect, okay, what we expected from our study, but make sure your prediction is based on scientific. Okay, and hypothesis is based on the existing body of knowledge in the area of study and is developed before the data are collected. So when you do your proposal, the hypothesis is what the readers or the examiner will look at. Okay, here another thing I think I forgot to highlight. Oh, okay, here but cannot see in the conclusion. Okay. Oh, oh, okay. Okay. First one. Okay, first and the second, the last is hypothesis. Okay. The tentative relationship between independent variable and dependent variable along with prediction of the outcome means that you need to have dependent variable and independent variable to formulate your hypothesis. Okay, with that, thank you. Anything you can email me. Okay, I pass to moderator.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for sharing your deep knowledge about formulation of hypothesis, types of hypothesis, that is null hypothesis and alternative hypothesis. Alternative hypothesis also called as statistical hypothesis. And your session was full of enthusiasm and valuable knowledge. Thank you very much, madam. Any questions,
Okay, thank
dear
you.
participants? Any
Any question from participant?
once again from Dr. Subhas University School of Nursing. Thank you very much, madam.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time for meal. Now next we will meet at 2:30, the same place, and next session will be dealt by Dr. Sanjay Sinde sir regarding tool for data collection. Thank you very much once again to all.